Hello, welcome to tea. And today I thought it might be interesting to talk about social media and various problems I think there are with social media. Social media, as you probably know from my experience on television, is something I didn't know much about. And I certainly didn't know anything about emojis. And now these things seem to really be coming to the fore. Um, we look at all the stuff with the football, um, and really, it's really shocking the sort of abuse that followed the football with people like Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Jadon, Sancho, um, and, uh, and on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter and TikTok. These are the central platforms that I think we would focus on. And the problem is, well, there seem to be two problems. Number one, even if you say racist abuse is unacceptable, which of course, without any question or qualification, it is, uh, there are levels of condemnation. And so Facebook seems to be vaguer about it than Twitter, um, and TikTok seems to be the most the clearest in signalling that it is unacceptable. However, then you've got a problem that there is in all of these social media platforms fairly poor enforcement, uh, whether the rules are strong or weak. Um, and you can look at the statistics. The statistics are quite interesting. 43% apparently of Premier Football League um, footballers have faced uh, racial abuse on social media. This is phenomenal. And then you go a little bit further. Apparently, 29% of this was through emojis. And now, as you probably know, I had no idea really what an emoji was or how to find one. I still don't have much of an idea. And frankly, in so many ways, I don't really care. I've only just really started to discover about memes. I don't quite know how to produce a meme. But memes do seem very interesting. And but how do you ensure that what is being delivered visually, because a visual image is so much clearer than any sort of words anybody can construct or proclaim or promote. A visual image speaks louder than almost anything else. How do you make sure that that those visual images are not having a negative impact? Well, part of that, I think, is to set up clear standards of behaviour. Part of it is to have some sort of efficacious enforcement, which probably means we need to turn away from relying too much on robots and we need to put in more human intervention, because language and ideas change almost by the minute, and robots cannot keep up with that human invention. And then I think we need to turn to our governments to promote better education at all levels, and also to look at ways in which we can have some sort of verification of who is responsible for whatever social media site they are using. Now, this is not necessarily to say that we need to stamp on anonymity. We just need to have some sort of paper trail, so that if something has gone wrong, we would be able to identify the wrongdoer. Now, of course, this is really problematic when we look at the way shifty regimes can use social media or propaganda and hold people to account for things that they may have said which may not be supportive of the regime. We have to be incredibly careful about how legislation is constructed in one country or internationally, because it will be copied, and people can make use of it. Good people can make use of it. Bad people can make use of it. So we need to be fully aware of that. In the meantime, um, have you noticed that the Olympics have started? Rah rah, Tom, and all our Olympic people. And I saw a few minutes of the opening ceremony. I thought very interesting. I loved the references to anime, to computer games, and some of the tunes even I have heard, and I particularly loved the overwhelming richness of kabuki, the traditional crafts of woodworking and so on. I love the way these were promoted, so congratulations. And I also liked the way that the stadium looked for a few minutes here and there as if it was full, whereas in fact every seat seemed to be vacant. So, is that the future of entertainment in a time of COVID? I fear it probably is, but we need to adapt. Meanwhile, on the subject of film and television, happy birthday to Daniel Radcliffe, who's somebody who I note tends to keep out of social media. I always think of Daniel Radcliffe as being about 9 years old, but he's got a wise man's head on those small shoulders. So happy birthday, Daniel. I think he's 32 today. It's unbelievable, isn't it? I remember the first Harry Potter film, which I think came out with the first Lord of the Rings film, and I have a feeling that I saw them in an outdoor cinema in Athens, so that's all very jolly. Have fun. Bye-bye.